Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at the parts and the build and the frame for the KababFPV TP3. Going to be getting all this stuff out, kind of going over what we're going to be using and getting the build started. But before I do that, I want to bring this out. I thought this was really cool. This was sent to me from a gentleman who I sent some camera mounts to for the Tiny Hawk Freestyle. And he sent me this picture, which is cool. It's got the envelope and the camera mounts and the Freestyle and that in the background. And then on the back, it's got a nice little note. Let me cover up the addresses here. That says, "Dear DRC, thank you very much for the great 3D prints. The quality is insane. Best regards from Switzerland." So the first piece of mail I've ever gotten to the channel came from Switzerland. So I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, let's get started and take a look at the frame first. So frame comes in this bag here. And I haven't opened this yet. This is still sealed. So let's go ahead and get this open and see what we get inside the bag. Now, if any of you guys have watched KababFPV's videos on this, you'll already have a pretty good idea of what comes in here. So first we get arms, and as you can see, we get 5 arms. I don't think this is a mistake because I also ordered extra arms, and the extra arms came in packs of 5. So the arms are pretty nice. They got the little finger here to as a protector for the motor. And let's go ahead and pull one of these out and take a look at it. And the carbon appears to be well cut. It is not chamfered. He said that he did that to keep costs down. I'm fine with that. The only thing I don't like sometimes when you get non-chamfered carbon is the carbon will be not cut very well, because not chamfered kind of tends to mean cheaper manufacturing, but this appears to have been done very well. It just simply isn't chamfered. You got the bolt hole here, you got the pointy part in the middle here, which connects to a TPU kind of central hub, which is pretty cool. So that's the arms, and let's see, we get a parts kit here. Comes with a bunch of rubber bands. Now, he had said that his original rubber bands in his video that I saw were too small, and these appear to be the second batch of them, as these rubber bands are quite a bit bigger. I've never used rubber bands to mount a battery before, but I think that's the only way to do it on this, so we'll see how it goes. This is that central hub I was talking about. It actually goes in the middle of the frame, and the arms stick into it like that, which I think is a pretty neat idea. Nuts and bolts and bolts and bolts. We've got the bolts that connect the arms, and then I think we've got two different lengths of bolts for different ways you want to mount your stack and canopy. This looks like a pretty well thought out setup. I'm pretty happy with this. It doesn't look like things were skimped just to save money. Got one extra arm mounting bolt, looks like, but no extra bolts for the stack. And then this is the top and bottom plate. And I think he said that these are actually thinner than the first batch were, and they do appear to be, I think these are 1 millimeter, which I'm pretty sure that's what he said they were going to be. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that's 1 millimeter. Might be 1.5 millimeter. Not sure. Anyway, so you see here, this is where the rubber bands are going to hook on, and then your top plate goes up here, and then you get your whoop style mounting here. So that all looks really good. I also got a set of these GemFan 3018 props that have the 2 millimeter center hole, because I didn't have any 2 millimeter center hole props. And I got those because I got a set of these Amax Inno 1303, I think 4800 kV motors. And I've already taken a look at this because I was just too excited not to. But these look really nice. The wires feel nice and soft. They're nice, good silicone leads. The bell looks really nice. It's got these cooling ribs on the outside. And this it feels and looks like a well put together motor. There's just no blemishes on it. It looks to be very nice. So I'm excited to get these mounted up. They're going to be pretty sweet. And it comes with a set of mounting screws. You get, looks like 4 mounting screws and then 2 longer screws. Not sure what those would be for. Oh, those are for the prop. Okay, of course, because these are press-on props, but in case they weren't, you'd have 2 screws for that. So I don't really mind the press-on props. I know some people have issue with them. I don't know why. I've been using press-on props on a lot of different quads for a very long time. Well, I mean, a relatively long time, but a lot of different quads, and I think I've only had 1 or 2 pop off. Have you had a different experience with that? If if you've had an issue with those press-on props, let me know down in the comments, and let me know what kind of issues you had with them. The only issues I've ever had with the press-on props is they're sometimes very, very difficult to get on and off, and I feel like I'm going to hurt the motor doing that, but I guess that's a good thing. You don't want them flying off. All right, what else are we going to put in this? I'm going to use the Eachine Nano VTX 400 milliwatt. I have tested this, but I haven't actually used it in anything yet, so I'm excited to try that out. I also picked up this Nameless RC toothpick specific flight controller ESC combo. It has, you can see the mounting holes are here, but then the board extends out a little bit further all the way around, and then all your mounting pads are around the outside, which is really, really nice, and your USB connection is pointing out to the side instead of sticking down. I went ahead and got this because I wasn't sure if my USB connector would fit on this frame. It probably would, but I decided I'd like to try something new anyway. So with this Nameless RC board, you get the board, comes in a little box. You get a capacitor, which is 470 microfarad. It is Chang X brand, so, you get the solder-on connectors, which I'm not going to be using for motors, and then just some grommets and whatnot. So that's cool. And then I have an RXSR I'm going to be putting in here. Probably a little bit of overkill, but I like these RXSRs. I do have some other RXs I want to try. I just haven't really gotten around to it yet. And then finally, we're going to be running the RunCam Nano 2. I think this is NTSC version? NTSC, it's just what I happen to have. So that's it. Next video, we're going to go ahead and get all this pile put together into a quad. Oh, and I want to try using this Lumineer antenna that I've tried to use on 3 or 4 builds, and I still haven't been able to because this wire has ended up being too long for everything I've tried to use it in. And with that, we're going to use this little pod here that I 3D printed. I've seen a few other people use it, and it looks pretty cool. It's got a couple places for the RX antennas to come out, and then a place for your VTX antenna to come out the back, and it mounts, to the normal Whoop style, and then a place for a 14mm camera. So I'm going to try this out. It's pretty flexible. I mean, it weighs basically nothing. I think this weighs, Kabab was talking about different weights of these little camera mounts pods, and this weighs 1.7 grams, so not much. But it is pretty flexible. I'm not sure it's going to give a lot of protection or structure to things. He was talking about the Eachine Twig, I think it is, canopy, and I went ahead and ordered a couple of those, so we'll probably be trying those in the future. Alright guys, well, I appreciate you watching this video. The build video and flying video will be coming out in just a couple of days because I'm probably going to get started on this basically right away. I just don't want this video to get too long because I've noticed that people tend to lose focus after a while when watching these videos if they get to be too long. So I appreciate you watching, and I will catch you in a few days. Thanks.